The observation deck of the Stellar Concorde hummed with the usual cacophony of 100 different species going about their duties. Eugene stood at the reinforced viewport, his weathered hands clasped behind his back, watching the debris field drift past in silence. 20 years of service had etched lines deep into his face, each one a story of survival that most species would never understand. Veteran Eugene, chirped Zix Thar, the avian navigator, her feathers rustling with excitement. The salvage team reports they've found something unusual in Sector 7. Initial scans suggest it's a derelict vessel. Eugene barely glanced at her. Derelict vessels were common in the disputed zones, graves of forgotten conflicts, picked clean by scavengers long ago. Mark it for the catalog and move on. But sir, the energy signature is, I said move on, navigator. The bridge fell into an uncomfortable silence. The crew had learned not to push the human veteran when he used that tone. Briar, the young human engineer who'd joined the ship only 6 months ago, watched the exchange from her station with narrowed eyes. She'd heard the stories about Eugene, the siege of Proxima, the defense of the outer colonies, the things he'd seen that no human should have to witness. But she'd also seen the way he shut down whenever the past threatened to surface. With respect, veteran, Briar said, her voice cutting through the tension, I'm reading significant power fluctuations from that derelict. It shouldn't be generating any power at all. Eugene's jaw tightened. Then it's not as derelict as we thought. Could be a trap. Or it could be survivors, Briar countered. Their eyes met across the bridge. Eugene saw the determination there, the same stubborn idealism he'd once carried before the war had burned it out of him. Briar saw the walls, the careful distance a soldier maintains from hope. Fine, Eugene muttered. Take a shuttle. Standard away team protocol. But Briar, you're staying here. Like hell I am. She was already moving toward the shuttle bay. You'll need an engineer if that thing's systems are still active. 3 hours later, their shuttle drifted alongside the derelict. It was massive, easily twice the size of the Stellar Concorde, its hull scarred and pitted by weapons fire and meteor impacts. Eugene recognized the design immediately. Human, pre-war era, one of the colony ships that had disappeared during the Exodus. The Sanctuary, he whispered, his voice hollow. She went missing 43 years ago. 3,000 colonists aboard. Briar glanced at him sharply. You knew about this ship? Everyone knew about this ship. It was the single greatest loss of the Exodus. They searched for 2 years before giving up. Eugene's hands trembled slightly as he guided the shuttle toward a docking port. There were no survivors. There couldn't have been. The airlock cycled with a hiss that sounded like a dying breath. Emergency lighting flickered to life as they stepped inside, casting everything in a sickly red glow. The corridor ahead stretched into darkness, and the air, remarkably, impossibly, was still breathable. Life support is functioning, Briar said, her scanner painting the corridor in blue light. Minimal, but functioning. Eugene, how is this possible? He didn't answer. He was already moving forward, his weapon drawn, every instinct screaming danger. They passed through corridors lined with frozen corpses, colonists who died in their sleep when the ship's systems failed. Families huddled together. Children clutching toys that would never bring comfort again. Briar fought back tears. Eugene's face remained stone. They reached the bridge, and that's when Eugene saw it. His blood turned to ice. No, he breathed. What? Briar moved beside him, following his gaze. I don't see, no? Look over there, she looked. At first, she saw nothing unusual. Just another section of the derelict bridge, consoles dark and dead. Then her eyes adjusted, and she saw what had frozen Eugene in place. Movement. In the captain's chair, something was moving. A figure slowly turned toward them, and Briar's scream caught in her throat. It was human, or had been once. Its skin had taken on a translucent quality, veins visible beneath like circuit patterns. Its eyes glowed with a soft blue light that matched the emergency systems. Cables ran from its spine into the ship's command console, organic and mechanical fused into something that shouldn't exist. Eugene, the thing whispered, its voice crackling like static. Eugene Torrance. Corporal. Service number 773992 Alpha. How do you know my name? Eugene's weapon trembled in his grip. I know everyone's name. Every colonist. Every child. Every dream they carried. The creature's head tilted unnaturally. I am Captain Marcus Webb. I am the sanctuary. We are one. Briar's scanner was going haywire. Eugene, his neural patterns are integrated with the ship's computer. He's not running the ship. He is the ship. We were dying. Webb continued, his voice gaining strength. Systems failing. 3,000 souls crying out. So I connected. Gave myself. Gave them time. Time for what? Eugene demanded. To sleep. To dream. To wait. Webb gestured, and throughout the ship, pods began to hum to life. The others are still alive, Eugene. Suspended. Waiting for rescue that never came. But I remained awake. Alone. For 43 years, I have waited. Watched. Kept them safe. Tears streamed down Briar's face. You sacrificed everything. That's what humans do, Webb said simply. That's what we've always done. We endure. We protect. We survive. His glowing eyes fixed on Eugene. You know this, veteran. You've made the same choice. Eugene lowered his weapon. The walls he'd built around his heart cracked, and for the first time in years, he allowed himself to feel. We'll get them home, Captain. All of them. You have my word. Then, I can finally rest. Webb's form began to fade, the glow dimming. Tell them I kept them safe. As the captain's consciousness finally released its grip on the ship, automated systems took over. Throughout the sanctuary, colonists began to wake from their long sleep, unaware of the guardian who'd watched over them through decades of darkness. Briar placed a hand on Eugene's shoulder. This is why we don't give up hope. Eugene nodded slowly, looking at the empty captain's chair. This is why we're human. Yendi,